I'm going to correct a mistake that I made in my installation video whenever I talked about taking all of these batteries over here. I've got my three 14 kilowatt hour wall mount batteries, and I've got my entire cabinet over here of the old Life Power 4, mostly V1s and one V2 server rack batteries. I connected them together through this Lynx distributor here, and I did use a breaker that is DC rated for it. However, what I did not do was add a T-class fuse. So that's what I'm gonna do today, is I'm gonna actually add the T-class fuse in here. We'll talk about why that's necessary, and then I'll show you my installation. I took the cover off of the Lynx distributor, placed it somewhere, it's up there. Revealing the different fuses in here, I've got a 250 amp that is coming right through here on this 4-aught, and then I've got another 125, which is probably not quite right for the charge inverter coming in here. And then I had this positive that was right here. I took it off, cut it, and then inserted this fuse block right in here. This is the Blue Seas Systems T-Class fuse holder. I'll put links in the description if anybody's interested. Not sponsored, not affiliated, but everybody seems to agree that the Blue Seas is the best. So I went ahead and I connected this on here. I haven't made that final connection there, but I terminated some lugs. I've been using this guy here for a long time. It has seemed to work just fine. It takes, you know, I start off with like a 3-pound sledge, and then I move on to like an actual sledgehammer, or 1.5 pound, I guess, and then go up to, actually it's a splitting maul that I hit it with. It works great. Heat shrinked it, and then I obviously connected the fuse block to the unistrut here, and then I went back over here and connected it back over to this. This breaker's off. Those batteries are off, just so you know. So the next thing to do is go ahead and take the fuse. The T-class fuse looks something like this. They come in different shapes and sizes. These are super squatty, and it fits in there, and basically, I mean, there is no room to spare. They really made this thing compact. So this is a 250 amp fuse. Now 250 amps is enough. Like these 2-aught cables should be rated, since they are 200C cables, they should be rated enough for 250. However, I don't know about the lugs and basically the lugs, and then the block here, or even this. Actually, this is a 100 amp breaker, so this should trip long before the 250 amp fuse does. Let's get into why the T-class. So I've got a mega fuse, and then I have a breaker, and then I have the T-class. This is easy for on and off, so that I can make sure that I'm just disconnecting the power before I unplug it or anything like that. All right. I can make sure that I've broken the system. It's basically just an on-off switch, but it also does have some protection, the 100 amps. All right, guys, while I was editing this and adding links into the description and the QR code that you'll see here in a second, I realized that is actually a 200 amp breaker, which explains a whole lot as to why it hasn't actually tripped in the past. It says 100 amps on it, but it's two 100 amp breakers side by side that are sharing the load. So 200 amps of total protection. So I've got a 200 amp breaker, 200 amp mega fuse, and a 250 amp T-class fuse. Now that 100 amps is going to be slow to actually trigger, so it's going to have to warm up the breaker and then it'll trip. Okay, the mega fuse will also trip, and actually this should extinguish the arc if it goes over 100 amps. The mega fuse should trip also at 250 amps, but it's also rather slow. The T-class fuse is essentially intended for catastrophic failures where we're pushing thousands of amps. If this thing absolutely just, the batteries just go nuts, the BMSs fail, it's full on, full send, all the power, this guy right here, it's full of, I think, sand or something, and it's going to extinguish the arc immediately, and it's going to trip really fast, where these guys might just melt down and continue to arc over. This one is designed to stop the catastrophic failure. I hope I said all that right. You can correct me in the comments if I was wrong on that. That's the way I understand it. So I'm going to go ahead and torque these down. I'm going to check the torque specs. Right now I'm going to 50 inch-pounds because that's the most that this will do. I might have to come back over and do it with a larger torque wrench. But 16 foot-pounds for these guys, which is a lot more than this little guy could do. Okay. In fact, yeah, well, it twisted it sideways, so I might go back and then bring that into it. There we go, 16. It's not much when you're doing something like this. It goes up to, 150. This is Harbor Freight, nothing special. But when you need it, you need it. You gotta recheck them all. Then the next thing is I need to connect this over here. I've got this torqued down, so I need to put it back on and then tighten that up, and then we should be good to go with much more protection than we had beforehand. I hate that I haven't had this for so long. I just kept meaning to do it, and that's one of those, like, get it up front and do it now. Like, when you're thinking about it, just get it done, because the odds are hopefully you're not going to need it, but if you do need it, it would be better to not have your home burned down or your barn or whatever it is. So now at this point, I've got these two battery systems safely connected to one another, and I can also put additional ones here. I would love to go ahead and get the Lynx distributor that, instead of using mega fuses, uses the T-class fuses. That would be pretty cool, and it will basically eliminate this step. Each of these are about 50 bucks. Also, 2 is 1, 1 is none. I went ahead and bought an extra 250 amp fuse for the shelf, because let's say this does blow and I can find the problem and isolate it out. I don't need to wait days and days for Amazon to ship me the new one. Fix the problem and then get it back into service the same day. I'm going to swap out the 250 amp mega fuse for a 200 amp. So we've got 100 amps here that should trip. It's going to be a little slow. The 200 amp, which will definitely cover the lugs and all the equipment in here, but that will be an easier and cheaper replacement, and then 250 here. So I'd rather that one trip before this one. Hope all that makes sense. If you're interested in more of this kind of stuff, you want to see the full build where I installed the entire 12,000 XP system, check it out right here. Otherwise, YouTube thinks this one's best for you. See you on the next one.